upon them, where it shook them of their language, heritage, and everything. Nationality, all that stuff. So pretty much, this is what I'm out here teaching, man, bringing our people back to their true origin, their true nationality, and knowing that we're the Lord's people. And that's why we were all under slavery together too. It's all prophetic. All these people right here, from the Renaissance period up to now, we all went into slavery and we live in the same conditions together. What you learn about school, like as far as the curriculum they teach you about history, it's like they teach you. Well, what do you learn? Let me ask you.
I mean, nothing really. It took me to transfer and be a prodigy of the construction man who happens to be white to even learn about my life.
Oh wow! What do you teach you? What do you say to you?
Shit, a lot. Like originally, how blacks weren't the first ones to be enslaved. White people were, and then Muslims, brown people was the ones who started the whole thing. White people later on took on the idea. He also told me that black people taught white people how to wash their ass, and I'm like,
well, some of that has some truth into it. During the Dark Ages, do you know about the Dark Ages?
I've heard of it.
Well, the Dark Ages was basically so-called Negroes, which is like Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, mainly them. They ruled Europe for a long period of time. Yeah, even up until the 1600s. 16 is, I think, last strongholds they had, or the last leaders they had was like up until almost the 1700s, almost. It was known as the Moors or Morenos. And so, the Moors was Israelites. They had the Star of David and all that. They all Negroes and stuff. So-called Negroes. And they ruled in Europe. That's where the Irish come from, Scottish, the real Anglo-Saxons, the original Spaniards, or Portuguese. Then you have southern Italy, Sicily, Sicilians and the southern Italians. Yeah. Armenia. Huh?
The guy I work for is southern Italian.
Yeah. That's the Israelites. More like that's why y'all get along with the North. So the scriptures tell you that Jacob is the former of all things. So basically, I don't want to get too far off the subject. I got that's what I'm gonna keep on into. But basically, when you go into the history, you look up the dark. You can use your phone, go to Google, and look up the Moors, and it tell you the different lands they conquered. And it proves to you that they're Israelites, because one thing to identify Israelites, or a few things actually: singers, dancers, very strong, very lively, are spirited. So yeah. I mean, the dress code. He Italian, Southern Italian, right? So he already know what's up. They can dress real good. The nice little three-piece suits they wear. Italian fabric is a real big thing. So he already know about that. He know about a lot of them deal with so-called black women because they know. Yeah, some of them Italians have baby by so-called black women because they really the same people, but they just they like basically light-skinned Negroes. That's why people go to Joy C's. Get old food. Get old cooking tastes real good. Yeah. So I mean, it's just proving the pudding. But yeah, that's basically what I'm teaching. So hey.
Well, keep preaching. It's good to stop by.
Yeah. And also, I know you probably don't know, but it's best to wear a mouse apparel as a woman too, though. You know what mouse apparel is? Real quick, I'll word to it real quick. I'll put up my phone. I got some old. Because it's a big issue with women, of our women, saying that all you do is think of us as whores and all this stuff. Well, what they say, the first appearance is a good indicator of basically who you are, right? I'm gonna show you something, because Mouse Apparel goes along with how women are perceived. This is 1 Timothy 2:9. It says, "And in like manner also that women adorn themselves in modest apparel and shamefacedness and sobriety, not with broidered hair or gold or pearls or costly array. Now, one thing about women, because I know you're a young woman, I forget your name, but I know you're the baby of Fred, though. But one thing you want to know, because I know you're grown now, but most men don't respect women because, first of all, when you dress, you show a man your private parts of your body, breasts, but if you dress in modest apparel, like dresses, real nice, there's plenty of beautiful dresses out here, men perceive you different. And they will approach you different. Probably wouldn't even approach you because they would say, oh, she's not this way. Because the perception they get from a young woman, especially like these leggings, that's BS right there. Leggings. But the perception that you give off of that is pretty much everything in a man's mind. So I know you're young, and like I said, when I left here, you was real good. But you want to treat yourself very delicate. You know, show yourself to be delicate in a woman, a man treat you that way. So you can hear something, you know. I know, like, a lot of women be like, man, these guys ain't shit and this and that third and all that. What you doing, man? Oh, okay. I got my son's car, but you know, a lot of women be like, oh, these niggas ain't shit, you know, all that stupid bull crap, you know. But the thing is, women are liberated and free to do whatever, where they haven't been in history. And so, if you want to stand out, give your heads up, just, you know, keep your beauty for your man. Because you see it. You grew up and seen all these women out here that are whores. Yeah, you know, within the law, the Heavenly Father gave us, he said that we should not make the daughters of Israel to be whores. I think it's Deuteronomy 23rd chapter. So, you know, a lot of women are free to, you know, label any kind of man, any man they want to. That devalues you. You're not made to take in all them different scenes. Not you, I'm talking about women in general. You know what I mean? So a lot of women are promiscuous. A lot of women are promiscuous, and then they become whores because they don't have any upbringing like a father. You know, that's very important. Isn't Wayne your dad? Yeah, Wayne your dad. Yeah. So it's very important to have a good relationship with your father because you know how to be accepting of a man's authority. Because like a man is the head of a family, and when you don't have a man, the foundation of the family is gone.
Father's wasn't one.
Huh?
So my dad's not one of people.
Yeah, but, you know, but I mean, we don't know why him and your mother broke up. We just grew up. You know, your parents split, separate, whatever. It's deeper than what we can see. But I mean, even though you may hear arguments and stuff, but you know, basically just keep it in mind. You know? Because I see a lot of young women just being destroyed by their own self-doing. You know what I mean? It's sad to see, really. But just keep it in mind. You know, hey, if I want a husband, I need to dress this way. I need to act this way. I need to know how to cook and clean, all that. Because men are very simple, but women don't know how to cater to that simplicity as far as the simple things that the men want. Cooking, cleaning, respectful, cooperative. So, you know what I mean? A man is made to govern his household and go out and work. So don't get you no dope boy and say he ain't shit because you know he wasn't shit. He's on selling dope. Get you a man that's working, man, stable and able to take care of you. Because that's what you want. Inside, you want to be taken care of. Security, provision. You want a man to treat you real nice, right? Yeah. So a man to treat a whore like a whore and a woman like a woman. All right. Good to see you though. Take care. All right. Just keep it in mind. So continuing on, back on Esau. Back on Esau, I was in the book of Psalms, the 73rd chapter, and I was on verse 6. Yeah. So I'll read it again. Psalm 73 and 6. Therefore pride compasses them about as a chain, violence covereth them as a garment. Yeah, like I was saying, you know, before she came up, you know, the so-called white man Esau, you know, he brings violence to many people, man. That's why what's that? Isaiah says, woe to, Isaiah said the Most High said that, woe to thee that spoilest. All right, woe means destruction or destroyed is you. To you that spoiled it. He said that woe to him that spoiled us, and he was not spoiled. And woe to thee that spoiled us, and thou was not spoiled. Roughly paraphrasing, which is Esau, even the so-called white man. He spoiled many nations. He spoiled many nations by using the sword. Now somebody may say, "Oh, well, Obama started the drone era." All right, that may very well be, but he wasn't the one that created drones. And he's not the one that's ultimately empowered. He just the presidency. The presidency is a puppet seat. The real ones in the power seat or in control are the central bankers, the elites of the so-called Jews. All right, they're the ones that's in the power seat. They're the ones that's doing the controlling behind closed doors. All right, they're the Wizard of Oz. They're the Grand Wizards, if you will. That's behind the scenes controlling the things. All right. Verse 7. Their eyes stand out with fatness, which is riches. They look around for all the riches they can gain. If you got any kind of riches or something that's profitable unto them, they come in to get that. And by the way, she's young. I really wanted her to, you know what I'm saying? I was about to start going into how a woman's supposed to be because she's a young woman. But, you know, I know she looked familiar, by the way. So that's why I was like, you know, just give her a couple of little tips. Because one thing about young women, they don't know how to be. So, slack you for that. I wasn't trying to gain her over and go, "Hey, sister, you ought to be an Israelite woman." None of that shit, you know. But hey, I had to, you know, cut it right to her. You know, I cut it to her a little easy, actually. I didn't really go in fully in because I want to continue on the lesson. So, slack you. But because this thing is for men. All right, it's cool. I gotta be honest. You know, you sisters that believe, that's good. Hey, may Yahweh Shah bless you. You know what I'm saying, and grant you salvation. You know, Lord willing, if you truly sincere believers. You know, but a lot of women, you know, man, it is what it is, man. You know, I'm not saying all of them, but a good number of our women are, you know, out there, man. So I cut to a short, sweet, never get on about the business, you know, kind of. So sorry for that if it seemed a little awkward. I don't like to deal with women up here, really. Men, really. Men come up here, that's sweet. That's what I deal with. Most times tabernacles with men. Men are called. Alright, so it says their eyes stand out with fatness, they have more than heart could wish. Yeah, you know, what everything they've gotten, you know, you would think they wouldn't want anything else, because they have total control, they have riches, more, you know, man, riches way far beyond that you can think of. Even though you can see it, you can look it up and see it, right? But still, you know, I mean, who want all them damn riches? You know what I mean? Esau got so many riches, he can't even do nothing with all the riches. He want to pass it along generation. What shit? I mean, you got what, over 40 million so-called Americans that are starving to death. He can easily change that shit overnight, but he ain't gonna do it. He ain't gonna do it. These migrants, he can easily give them money to build shelters or homes wherever they go to, and give them a new start of life. But he ain't gonna do that. It's not what Esau's about. You hear in the news, oh, nation building. Esau don't build nations. He fucking destroy nations, man. Period. All right. Goddamn, straight to the point. He's not a builder. He's a destroyer. Right? He does the opposite of building. The only thing he's gonna build is a skyscraper. All right, or underground shelter. All right, or a space shelter, so he can try to get away from the destruction. verse 8. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak lawfully. And hey, man, yo, I don't like to even have a conversation or engage in a conversation that's dealing with the pressure they put upon us, because Edomites are, man, you know what? This one guy, he said something, and this thing is like an accurate saying. He said, "Privilege is invisible to those who have it." Right. So, you Edomites, even you low-level Edomites, you have privilege, and the things that go on in Jake communities, you don't have an idea of what goes on, but yet you believe that narrative that your people put out on their news waves, those media waves, but you live a total different world than we live. The places you live at, your dwelling places, and our dwelling places is two totally different things. All right, they put guns and drugs in our communities. Your community are the ones that use them more. You have the money to use drugs and shit. You have the money to buy all these different weapons and stuff like that. And that's what you do. You go out, you buy drugs and guns, man. And then it becomes a problem as far as drug-wise when so many Edomites are on drugs. All right, but that's another subject for another day, man. I'm just making the point, Edomites don't even, when you speak about things going on in our community, they don't believe it. Oh, it's not, America's not that bad. It's not that bad to you because you're a fucking Edomite. I think America does a lot of good. No, you think America does a lot of good because these bullshit news media outlets teach you bullshit. They don't teach you what's really going on, most of them. See? Verse 9, it says, they set their mouth against the heavens and their tongue walking through the earth. Yeah, man, so, first of all, how you set your mouth against the heavens, Esau? Because everything the Most High Father gave to us on how to live, which is the laws, commandments, statutes, which is order, you against it. See, the laws, commandments, statutes didn't come from man. It came from the Heavenly Father. And He gave it to us, the children of Israel, right? But what did you do, Esau? You said you're a God-fearing people. But if you fear the Most High, you will keep His laws, commandments, statutes. Period. All right? But you see, you don't do that, man. Within the commandments, it says, thou shalt not murder, man. And what you do, you constantly murder people. You murder people at an all-time high. Since you've been back in power, man. This whole Renaissance period up to now, back into the late 1400s, it's all about murder, man. It's all about murder, destroying people. How you think the demographic of certain areas of the land look the way it look? Look at the Irish today, the Scottish today, the Anglo-Saxons today. All right, that was forced upon them. All right. It's like this whole thing about democracy. Which, I mean, it's all bullshit, man. If you're a leader in the country, you can have democratic process within your government. That shit does not matter. Esau will still go in there and he will still demonize you and then overthrow you. by the force of the sword. Same what they just did to the president of Haiti. They just did it to the president of Haiti, man. That Levite president in Haiti, he was murdered, man. It was a high paid job. They said there was a lot of money involved with murdering Haiti's president. Come on, man. Ain't no secret to what happened in Haiti, man. We're not blind to that, man. That wasn't this no coincidence. All right. I guarantee you, Esau gonna be in Haiti, grabbing all like the Clintons went there. I forget what they was grabbing. I think it was like gold or something. I forgot the resource they was in there grabbing, but I believe it was one of them was gold. Clintons, they was heavily involved with gathering resources from Haiti. Let's go on back to the 90s. All right, Haiti is one of the poorest countries in the world, man. They're like in the top 5, I believe. All right, but or I may be wrong. Don't quote me on the top 5, but I know it was pretty fucking high. It's been a while since I looked that up, but they one of the poorest countries in the world, and the resources that they have. You know, the U.S. control all the resources on this hemisphere. This Western Hemisphere right here. They control all the resources over here, man. Look at Venezuela. Their oil reserves. You know, the sanctions affected Venezuela because Venezuela been sanctioned by the U.S. So a lot of important things they need for the Venezuelan people, all right, Maduro can't get them because of sanctioning, all right, because he haven't found a way to get around the U.S. dollar. Continue on Micah 2 and 1. This goes hand in hand with Esau, man. What he do with his sword, all right, and why he invade all these lands, invade all these countries, man. Because no one's forcing your hand, Esau. You doing it because you love to do it, man. You want to pull out Afghanistan after you bomb Afghanistan so much. You bombed them. All right, they don't have a stable living, and now you like, all right, well, all right, we'll holler at y'all. Hey, y'all pack up, let's go. You got control of their resources. Now you don't have a need for Afghanistan no more. Micah chapter 2 verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. Yeah, man, and that's you Edomites, man, to a T, man. All right, you work evil upon your beds, man. You wake up, you go to sleep thinking about evil inventions that you can spread throughout the earth, man. That is a fact. Because if it was not so, you wouldn't do so. You're the wicked, man, and you're filling your role as being the wicked. And being that son of perdition. Which perdition means destruction. All right? Matter of fact, I'll get that too. Verse 2, it says, and they covet fields is land, right? And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses, and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. Yeah, man. So that's how you do. You covet these different lands, and you take them by violence. Your military, mercenaries, even, right? You be going over mercenaries. Murder their leader. You murder their leader, right? You murder their leader, and you take over their lands after you murdered the leader and broke down their government. Then it becomes vulnerable. The people become vulnerable. Well, the country becomes vulnerable. Go in there, set up your military occupation. See? And the Heavenly Father is going to punish you for your destructive behavior, Esau. I mean, point blank, period, man. You're not going to get away with that. And that's why the nations are mad. You talk this democracy. You talk this democracy. But what are you doing? Even yourself, you're not following by your own democratic values, if you will. All right? You're not even following by your own democratic values. And the nations are tired of shit because they're like, man, look, we abide by democratic values and rules, but you're not. Look at this guy Juan Guaido, right? They tried to set up a puppet leader, Juan Guaido, in Venezuela, right? When Nicolas Maduro was the democratically elected president, right? He won his election, but because he won, what did the U.S. do? Went in there with this Juan Guaido dude, sent in these fake supporters, try to send in mercenaries to try to assassinate and get rid of Maduro. All right, and then it backfired. It backfired on you devils because the UN, at first the UN, you had nations or countries within the UN. They was agreeing with I think Trump was in office then. Yeah, Trump was in office when that happened. Well, what happened was you had different countries agreeing that Juan Guaido is the leader. You know who countries they are: UK, of course, France, Canada, all them the lovers of this whore America. Babylon the Great, really. It was all in agreement, right? A lot of them was, but it didn't work. So now they had to draw back. Like, you know what? We can't pull this off. So they can't pull it off now. What are they doing now? They're recognizing Nicolas Maduro as a rightful sitting president that was democratically elected, which he was. They tried to send in a small number of mercenaries to, like I said, to eliminate him, and it didn't work. Why? Look at the oil. Like I said, look at the resources. When you look at these countries that so-called America is invading, right, and its NATO allies, look at the resources that these different lands or countries have, man. And I believe Venezuela have lithium too. I believe they have lithium too. But yeah, you know, so they want to control all that. Esau want to control all that. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. Now, you go to Blue Letter, let's get that. Blue Letter. why you have some migrants, man. It's some perdition. Excuse me. Let's go to the word perdition. Apoleia is the word there for perdition. It says destroying, utter destruction of vessels, a perishing, ruin, destruction of money, the destruction which consists of eternal misery and hell. Nah, that's gonna link it off with that. But yeah, there you go, man. Look at that. Ain't that something? So, like I read in Micah, they covered fields talking about violence. And you know what happens when the violence is forced upon the people? People are destroyed. Because many of these countries can't even fight back. They don't have most of them don't have well, I'll say this. If they have a military, it's not even a glimpse of what the so-called U.S. and NATO have. Right? So, that's one thing, man. All right? A country like, they have a military, but they got like, what? They have assault rifles, maybe a couple of rocket launchers, little stuff, Oh, no, some countries don't have missiles. They effed up, man. They out of it, man. They SOL, shot of luck. Because how you gonna? If somebody's shooting missiles on you, how the hell are you gonna fight back if you don't have any missiles? Right? So it's like they rather stand still. It's like, in so many ways, because if you don't have anything to fight back, or what was you can't do eye for eye, or gun for gun, if you will, missile for missile. It's like you can't bring a knife to a gunfight. Nothing hurts. It's like shit. You're in the scripture speaking about counting the cost of war. You can't go to war if you don't have anything sufficient enough to withstand an offensive, and then for you to go on the